Cheers, queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are going to talk about Heartstopper Forever. Woo!
Woohoo!
Woo! Yay! And we have our resident Heartstopper expert, Elena's back. Yay!
Hi!
We're so excited to have you here.
Oh, I missed you guys. It's so good to be back.
I missed you too.
Oh.
I can't believe this is like the last Heartstopper thing we're gonna do, potentially. It's just like, I can't believe it. I'm glad we're all here, but I also can't believe it at the same time. So we're gonna do our best to give it our all and talk about all the things we loved about the Heartstopper movie, and we'll probably talk a little bit about Volume 6 and the Nick and Charlie novella, because they're all intertwined kind of together. So, spoiler alert for all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys ready to jump into it?
Let's dive right in.
Okay. So, my big question for you guys is, because, like, you know, I think Netflix here did the thing where they're like, yeah, we don't want to pay you to do a full season of television, so we're going to pay you to do a movie because that's cheaper to end this thing. And so that's how we get Heartstopper Forever. My question for you guys is, after watching it, like, did it feel like an ending to you? Like this final installment? I have some feelings about that.
I'll say, yeah. I'll say, Kayla, you go first if you want, because I could yap for a while.
Go ahead, Elena. Go ahead.
Do it!
So, to your point, I think you're right. Netflix kind of did this thing where it was like, I mean, in all fairness, like, there was only one volume left. So like probably were like for practicality reasons. Most of the seasons have been centered around like 2 to 3 volumes of the books.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand where they were kind of just like, well, maybe there's not enough material here to do an entire season. But also at the same time, I think that was kind of at the time, or I think it's still happening now, where like a lot of streaming services are having trouble with like being able to keep up with having these TV shows and continuing to make money, to the point that they can continue making them. And so it's like, I think that's just kind of been an ongoing thing with streaming services as a whole, honestly. So I think Netflix was definitely smart in knowing their audience, and that if they canceled Heartstopper entirely, they would never hear the end of it from the fandom.
Absolutely not.
That's me. I'm the fandom.
Right. First on your house, Netflix.
Exactly. So I think in that regard, they're like, well, obviously we can't just cancel it, and it's not like people aren't watching it. That's the thing, is people were watching it, people were loving
100%.
it. So yeah, I think that it was kind of a tough position, and at the same time, I also think Alice was very proud of the project that she created. So
yeah,
as much as
100%.
I would love to have a 4th season for practicality reasons, I can respect why that didn't happen, why it had to be a movie. I could have just watched it for another 4-hour long season easily.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I think what they did was very beautifully done, and it's so closely tied to what happens in Volume 6. So
seriously, it was like watching Volume 6, except for some parts which we'll talk about that are different. And I was like,
yeah,
didn't I read this once? And I kind of did.
But yeah, it's like, did that answer your question? I kind of
did it feel like an ending?
Oh,
yeah,
did not answer your question at all.
No. But it was all great, and you added to the conversation I started, which is why we're here.
I think, okay, in the sense of like, this is the end of the story that we get to know. Yeah, I'd say so, but maybe that's also because I've read the book, and so I know like what happens, and so I know it's gonna be the end, maybe. But also I think it's kind of a good thing that it doesn't feel like it's not the end of their story, obviously. Yes. Like, because they're kids, they're still about to go like on their adventures of like their lives. So like, it's not the end at all for them in any aspect. Like for Nick and Charlie, obviously, like for themselves, it's like, in their relationship, we know, like, canonically, spoilers, down the road, they get married, they have kids, they get a dog or 2. I think they get 2 dogs or something like that.
I think they get 2, yeah.
Yeah, so we know canonically, like, down the road, that all happens for their characters. But we never see that because that's a part of their story that does not need to be told. What we see is them beginning this new chapter of their lives into becoming adults. So yeah, I think that in the sense of like it doesn't feel like quite an ending, but it's not supposed to, I think. So not entirely.
What do you think,
I
Kaitlynn?
don't think I could say that better myself. Like Elena really did. It just explained that very well. The ending felt very open ended, whereas like it left the possibility like to continue this. Now we know it's not going to be continued, but like Elena said, like it's a continuation of their life. Like nothing's ever going to feel final because that's not life. I mean, unless everyone died, and I don't think anyone wants that.
No, Kaitlynn, please don't rewrite Heartstopper with that. Yeah, no.
I mean,
No.
Anyway, I agree with you guys. I think that it's rather than doing this like, and that's the end of our story kind of thing, it's more just like Alice was really focused on the fact that like Nick and Charlie are growing up, and that implies like things will change because we're in another transition period from like we're saying goodbye to childhood. And I think she did a lot of different elements in the story, like Alfie's a big one, to be like, look at how, to give you it's like, I know, I love him, but it's like, that's baby Charlie, right? And it's like, look at how, and then you see Charlie stand up to the bullies for Alfie, and you're like, wow, Charlie has changed so much. But like, he's still Charlie, you know, he transformed. And so this is going to be another period where they're just going to transform into their adult selves. And they're still, and I like that Alice was like, they're still Nick and Charlie. And that was reinforced the whole time throughout the show. I mean, sorry, throughout the movie, with the friends being like, yeah, but you're Nick and Charlie. Yeah, but you're Nick and Charlie. So like, they're not going to change. They're just going to become adults. And like, I love Alice for writing it that way, to be like, it feels open-ended because it's just like, they're just going on to the next phase of their life. It's like Nick and Charlie don't suddenly cease to exist just because they graduate high school or whatever, you know? So it felt very Heartstopper, like an ending, but like, it, to me, I agree with you guys where like, it didn't feel like the end of like everybody's story. It was just like, this is where we're going to sign off, but like, they're going to keep living their lives.
Yeah.
And so it was like a hopeful way to end it, which it feels very Heartstopper to me personally.
It really was, and it gave you hope, especially with the Tao and Elle storyline of like him coming to visit, being like, oh, well, maybe they'll find their way back to each other, and like just like thinking of all the possibilities for each of the stories.
Yeah, especially like with their friendship, or it's so left ambiguous at the end,
Correct.
like what their relationship really is. But I love that, like at the Lever's ball, he's like, you know, whatever happens, she's gonna still be in my life, and I love that because it's like they were best friends for years before they even like had feelings for each other. So it's like to see that at least at the very least they're circling back to that friendship, and he's her support system, and you know is there for her and saying like, you know, be an artist, be yourself, embrace yourself, like, which I'll definitely get more into that later when we get like through some of this. But yeah, I love that comes back around at the end.
So good. Yeah, because like, I mean, friendship is like the heart of the story, you know? So like, I like that a lot of elements of this, of volume 6 of this movie really felt like it was very, like Alice was coming full circle with a lot of things. To show you like the characters didn't really change who they are at their core. They're just like moving on to a next phase of their life. And that means things are going to be different. And maybe our relationships won't look the same, but we will have a relationship. And I think that definitely came across to me during when Tao was giving that speech, or like saying that about Elle, which I really loved. Because like it was, oh my god. Okay, can we just talk about their breakup real quick? Because now I'm getting emotional. God. I'm sorry if I was jumping ahead. Because like I knew it was happening because like I read the book first, right. But like I cried watching it because like, oh my god, forgive me, I forget the actor's name who plays Tao, but oh my god, did he destroy that scene where he was just he made me cry because I was just him just trying to be like happy and strong and then like falling apart while they were dancing and stuff. Just like I was so emotional watching him do that. It was just poor Tao. It was just that one got me in the feels, that scene.
I just love how like healthy those two were about the whole thing. Like, yeah, they broke up, got back together, but they also knew that. So, like, Elle has the scene where she's like, let me see, where she's like, people in good relationships don't keep breaking up and getting back together. And so, like, she's like mature enough to realize like this isn't something that should be happening in like a, like she says, a good relationship, a healthy relationship. And Tao is like, I forget like the exact wording of the scene, but they're like both able to recognize that this relationship wasn't heading where they, what was best for both of them. And Elle knew like she didn't want to revolve her life around Tao. Like she has other things in her life that she wanted to pursue. So at this time, their relationship was not working out. And I think it was very mature of them to actually split and go their own ways and let each other grow as well. And in that way, they might have the healthiest relationship of all.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of growing up, like, and that is definitely part of the story, just like maybe our relationship needs to change kind of thing. Which Elle, the butterfly, change.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I know the recurring theme of the butterflies with Elle specifically was great.
The pride float.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, that one got me. I was like, oh, the trans butterfly. Like that was so good. Like whoever built that, thank you. It was so perfect and beautiful. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we start with the opening of the movie with Charlie's speech, the head boy speech?
Before we get into that,
Ooh.
I would love to address the intro credits.
Please do.
All the pictures that are in like the intro that are all like photos from the past seasons. Most of them, I think I realized they were all like outtake photos, or like they weren't in the actual show like before. Like they don't, like the characters didn't post them on Insta or anything. They're all like outtakes that they added back in. There's like one of the whole crew like on the beach in season 3. That was, as far as I know, that wasn't in the show previously.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like kind of cool to be like, oh my god, they actually put these photos in. So
that's cute. I
yeah,
didn't catch that. I thought they were from the show. So thank you for putting that out. Now I want to go look at it again. That was cute.
I think most of them were like photos that Alice had posted on Insta at some point, just like, hey, here's the outtakes. So
that's
that was
cute.
always really
that
cool.
Would make sense.
Also the music in that intro. I don't know if it's the exact track, but it sounds exactly like the Heartstopper theme song that came in season 1.
Oh, yeah, it did.
So I was like, if this is the song, I swear to God.
I wouldn't put it past them. There was a lot of like callbacks and like nods to prior seasons that kind of went throughout the movies. That wouldn't surprise me, actually. And they're always so detailed with their music choices also. That's been very consistent with Heartstopper.
Yeah, I feel like this movie may even, like, I say, like, if you never saw the show, but you maybe read the comics, you could watch this movie and know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, even if you never watched the series. The only thing is you'd be missing out on all the character like growth and everything, so like whatever. You'd
miss a lot of things, but you'd be in good company.
You'd miss out on a lot of tears.
Well, that too. Which, maybe that's a blessing.
Well, you'd be like, who is this blonde girl going around and
calling herself an ally? Who is that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! Imagine watching the movie first and then going back and watching the series and seeing Imogen.
Imogen at the beginning. Oh my god! So you're talking about transformation. Imogen MVP.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
That would be hilarious, actually.
Oh my!
I love Imogen so much.
I love her so much.
Yeah, but I love the intro, that the way they did it. It was like kind of be like, hey, just remember, this is Heartstopper. This is where we've been. This is where we came from. Now let's get into where we are now. I love that was kind of like an easy, quick, very clever way of like almost like not quite a recap of everything, but
Right.
enough to be like, hey, you remember this that happened? If you've seen the show, if you know, you know. If you've seen the show, you definitely remember this kind of thing. So
It's kind of like their version of an epilogue. Like, by the way, here's what you got to know to get started. But it's
prologue.
different. Yeah, a different way of tackling that.
yeah.
Very clever. The show's got very clever people that work for it, or very clever people have worked on Heartstopper all throughout Heartstopper, and I very much appreciate that about their productions, like the movie included.
Yeah, I liked that they included. So, for folks who don't know, Joe and Kit were actually producers on this movie too.
Yes, they were.
Along with like Pat Walters, of course, and then Alice was the writer.
Alice.
I think I don't remember the new director's name, but the director is a new person this time. Thank you, Washmoreland. Yes. So I could definitely tell, like, obviously there's always a shift when there's a new director, which I'm like, I love that they always have like a new take on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I miss A-Ross just because of the nostalgia, but what a man. And I also Andy Newberry did a great job on season 3, so you know, just every new director has a new interpretation of everything, and I love it. But yeah, I'm curious to know like how much input Joe and Kit actually had in I assume pretty much in everything. When it comes to the execution of everything, obviously, like when it comes to their acting, they had the input because it's their characters.
For sure.
But yeah, very curious about that. Thought it was kind of cool that they were part of the crew.
Like, what a way to say goodbye to your like last stint as these characters, to have like more say in how it goes down. Like, that must be empowering, you know?
Oh my god. Imagine being Joe and this is like your first professional job, and now you're wrapping it up by being an executive producer on the movie.
That too is crazy. It's just mind-boggling to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 5 years later. Jeez.
5 years later. It was a long time.
It's like 5 years. Wow. But then also like 5 years, like 5 years, that's it. The 5 years, like that's a long time too.
Yeah, 10 years of Heartstopper, the comics. So
for Alice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Damn genius.
All right. So the first scene where Charlie gets head boy, is doing his speech for head boy.
Yes.
I like that they started off with here. So like in the book, you see the whole application thing first. And like them trying to figure out that. But obviously with the show, with the movie,
it's habit.
Yeah. You don't have as much time to like go through everything that's in detail. So I like that they started it there. And also I love that they open with like charisma and like all these like confident like but looks like sounding adjectives, and you think it's about Charlie at first and like they're just like introducing him, but then it's actually the other person and their speech, and you're like, oh, okay.
It's freaking Harry. That's what
I know. The fact that it was Harry made me so mad. I was like,
charisma, sex appeal. I'm like, bro, shut up.
Unearned confidence, Harry.
Oh my god.
I know, he's the worst. But I really love Charlie's speech because I think it's another like full circle thing that Alice was trying to do, because his speech really focused on his not so much being like, this is what I can do for you. He gave his experience of like being at this school as a gay boy, he was subject to bullying, homophobia, and like the toxic masculinity that touches everybody at that school, you know? And so and then he ends up like getting this like applause. So it's like crazy how far Charlie has come, because it's like you see that if you have never watched Heartstopper ever and you just watch this, like Charlie's like on top of the world by the end of this speech, which is so interesting because if you like go back to season 1 when you first meet Charlie, like he's come light years, you know, from like just trying to survive school to like ruling the school. Like, you know what I mean? And then like being able to be so honest about what happened to him. Like season 1 Charlie would never be able to do that. And it's just like amazing to see how far Charlie has come. Just like in that speech, it just like struck me as like, wow, Charlie really grew up, you know?
I know.
I
And
don't
we didn't
think
even
season 1 Charlie could comprehend where he is.
I know.
No.
What's wild, we didn't even see like every part of like when he was bullied, because like by season
Yeah.
1, start of season 1, he'd already gone through like when he first got outed, like he already went through that hellscape of being bullied. So like we saw the aftermath, obviously, with dealing with like everything in season 2 and 3, like when it was really escalating.
Yeah.
We saw like the aftermath of it, but we didn't actually encounter the bullying itself. We just know how it affected him.
Mhm.
And then seeing that and seeing him be like, no, this is not going to happen to somebody else if I can help it. Like, hell yeah. Yeah. Also, I've caught this too with Theora when he's talking about toxic masculinity and like boys pushing down their feelings and how it hurts their mental health. I was like, I love it. I think my favorite line from this speech was he said that when he was bullied for being gay, he said, they made me feel like I was the problem.
Yes.
Isn't that literally just all it is? Is like,
Yes.
they make like you're the problem when you're literally just existing. It's so wild.
It's just like that like victim blaming thing that's super pervasive in our society for some reason, that you're just the victim is meant to gaslight it into believing it's their fault. And it's like, I didn't bully myself. Like you did that to me, but okay. So yeah. But I felt like, I think that was an important thing for him to bring up, because like, he's like, when we get to like his pride club that he does, like he's obviously not the only queer person at the school, obviously, but like as a queer person, you're in the minority here, especially at a boys' school. So like to talk about the toxic masculinity part, I feel like that resonated with more people in the audience, and they're like, it maybe those who like never saw Charlie as like them could be like, oh, you are like me, like in some light, because like I feel like that would be something that would affect all of them, whether they admit it or not, you know, like. So it's good of him to, he was just being very honest. I was just like proud of Charlie for being able to like do that, because I used to just give him so much anxiety to acknowledge all these things that happened to him and stuff. And so just to like talk about it, no preamble, he just like got into it, like in the speech. It was very empowering to see Charlie do that.
Oh god, season 1, Charlie could have never given a speech like that.
No
way.
I don't even think he would have got to the podium.
No
He would have ran away.
Yeah.
So.
He would have been like, me head boy, never.
Yeah, I don't think he would have applied. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, even in season 3, he was just like, why would I do this? It was Mr. Farouk that gave him the application?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's Mr. Farouk who's like, I wish we had a head boy like you. It was like that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I was feeling his inner child.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because then it's the scene of little tiny him
yes,
at the desk. That's right.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that. Now we're emotional again.
Baby Yusef. Okay.
I know, that was one of the cutest scenes.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then freaking Charlie, like, I love watching like the support system he has too, like with his friends, and like the poster, the Vote For Me poster is so funny.
Those are so cute.
Nick's thing was just like, he's really great, or whatever it was.
Oh my god. I know, he quoted his friends on the posters. That was adorable.
Yeah. But that was great. Like a New York Times best-selling book or something. It's like, here's the quotes from the best-selling thing.
Right.
I know, and then he wins by like 61%, I think was that. Yeah. That's a lot to win by.
Right. That is not insignificant. Like that's not disputable at all. Like, good job,
I'm
Charlie.
curious why they chose 61% when the book was 83%.
Oh shit, you're right.
62% would have been funnier, because that's how
I know
sexual Nick is. According to the BuzzFeed quiz.
That would have been very funny.
That would have been a really funny random dot.
Missed opportunity.
I know, I'm kind of mad now. We didn't just add one more person. Damn it, Harry, if you would have voted for Charlie, we could have had 62%, you bastard.
I don't remember, did we see the other candidates in the book? I don't think we did, right?
No, I don't even think
no.
That's why I was like, why is Harry up there? Because the book doesn't even bother.
Yeah. From what it seemed like, Harry was the only other candidate, I think. I think.
I think, yeah.
He's only the one we saw, so I'm like, I
Correct.
actually don't know.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, also, ew, why did 39% of you vote for Harry?
I was just thinking that. That's too many people voting for Harry. No wonder we have a bullying problem.
Yeah.
A vote for Harry is a vote for bullying.
A vote for Harry is a vote for the canteen or whatever he was talking about. Like,
Which is like the classic bullshit things, people, the popularity talking points. I'll put cookies in the cafeteria.
Oh my God.
Right.
No,
He's so basic.
Literally, I think it was like my junior year, we were trying to vote for student council, and every single candidate was just like, prom, talking about prom. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit about prom.
Who gives a shit about prom? Seriously, who cares?
I'm not going to prom.
I'd rather have cookies in the cafeteria.
That actually,
that
yes.
will more affect my life, maybe, if I go to the cafeteria.
That's every day. That's like, prom's one night, man.
Prom is one night that I forgot about, so.
Exactly.
Alright, my notes are not organized by scenes. I just kind of have topics I wanted to talk about, so if you guys have scenes you want to talk about, feel free to jump in.
So going on to like the next part where they're celebrating Charlie winning, I love Tara is like starting to actually talk about like we saw in season 3, she was like so stressed out about going to university, and now she's talking to Darcy, who has already openly said, I'm probably gonna take a gap year. Tara's now telling her partner, maybe I take a gap year too. And Darcy, I think they literally say like, what about university? And Tara's like, what about university? Like, which I love. And then we have that little tiny scene with Tori and Isaac, which made me so happy. That made my heart so happy.
That was one of my favorite scenes, by the way.
Yeah.
I was sad we didn't get more with Tara and Darcy, only because like that, which I understand because like you only have 2 hours. The majority of Volume 6 is about Nick and Charlie. I get it, but like I was very, very into it because of how fed up Tara seemed in that scene. I was like, damn, I can't wait to dive into like what got her to the breaking point, but like we never really unfortunately get to get into it, but just like to come back and see Tara and like that's her headspace was just kind of felt jarring. Like, cause to your point, Darcy, you already know she's gonna do whatever and do a gap year, but like Tara just seems so like burnt out, and it was just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But
yeah, no, it kind of seemed like 180, and like that's the nature of the movie, is like having to revolve around Nick and Charlie. And like, yeah, the books did that as well, but if it was the TV series, we definitely would have gotten into each character more. And I really wish we could have done that, because they've created such interesting characters, and like including Imogen, like seeing more of her journey throughout this whole movie too, because she's like she has the scenes like being like, I don't actually know what I am, I could be bi, and like, and I forget what her name is, but she's just like, it's okay, it doesn't matter.
I don't know if we got her name, did we?
I don't think we did.
It might have been Megan. One of the girls' name was Megan, so
the girl later on that Nick like talks to in the club is, I think that was Megan, right? I don't think it's the same girl, but like
I don't think that was the same girl. I don't know. But yeah. I'm glad we got Imogen. I'm glad we got some resolution with her, because we brought it up earlier, but she came a very long way as a character who was like a series specific character. And Isaac too, we were able to get some kind of closure. I kind of saw I'm like, he's gonna write Heartstopper. Like, that's where this is headed. I could see him doing that. He is Alice Osmond, like, in my head. I'm like, she wrote, that's like me, that's me, it's my insert. Even though she was also in this for a hot second, but like, I think Isaac is her sole character, if I had to guess. But the Isaac Tori scene was, again, I wish there was a series so we could have had them interact more, but I loved it.
I really feel like they could have easily gotten away with even doing just like a 6-episode season, like a slightly shorter season, even. Like, just even another hour, I feel like we could have fleshed out so much. And I'm like,
yeah.
I know,
I want to know what happened.
Make an endgame
Oh my god, yeah. Oh
and just give us the other characters to fill it in. Yeah, it would have been perfect.
Oh my god,
but that was really cute. They're both so weird, and they would be really good friends, honestly. That gave me hope.
They would.
I love that she says, I love that, I like that you don't care that people think you're weird. I'm just like, yes,
Yes.
that's a great
Especially like
compliment.
especially reading Solitaire and you're like, Tori just wants a friend that understands her, and it's like, here's Isaac, and it's like, that could be the friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cute.
I like to imagine that they would grow closer later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably once they're like older. I mean, obviously Isaac, I would hope, is gonna stay friends with Charlie for a long time, so they'll
Yeah.
still be in their lives for a long time.
I also love the decision to make Tori obsessed with math and becomes like a math genius. I loved that. I was like, what? And I was like, you know what? This actually makes sense for Tori to be really into math.
It does, actually really
It
does,
does,
yeah.
actually. I shouldn't see that coming, but yeah, no. Tori being obsessed with math really makes sense. And it was cute that we got like some Solitaire stuff where you got actually people get to who if you haven't read Solitaire, you got to see Michael Holden and his like speed skating stuff and his like quest to go to the Olympics. And it was really cute that they weaved that in there. I liked that a lot.
Yeah,
I know.
I loved when Michael comes back to see Tori for that first weekend. Well, that one weekend, and he's like, it's been 3 months, but he also mentions that yeah, there's Tori's life and his life, and then when they're together, it's like, and then when they're apart, it's like,
it's like mind blown. Explosion versus implosion. Yeah, it was very cute. Very Michael thing to do.
And Tori, in very Tori fashion, just goes, also phones exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
no,
he's being
that's
dramatic.
yeah, that's my favorite part. Is like Tori's like, also phones exist, because like
So
that's something that I feel like all the characters forget about, is that technology exists. So, and this is a common thing in media in general. Like people forget that technology exists. That there's so many ways to contact someone. Like it's not just calling, it's not just texting. You can literally see each other through your phone and talk. So I like that reminder to Nick and Charlie too, in that scene.
I mean, Nick and Charlie could always play Mario Kart long distance. That is a thing. You can play it online.
That is a thing. That would actually be a fun way to like spend your time apart, you know?
I know. Just hop on Discord, just talk on Discord to each other, and just play Mario Kart and kick each other's butts at Mario Kart. It'd be fun.
They have to do that. I feel like they have to figure that out at some point. That would be a cute, like, long distance date night, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Nick, I feel like we should probably get into Nick. So,
oh man,
something that I know I've been avoiding it, but we should. So something that like was interesting about like reading Volume 6 and then getting into the movie was that it was like coming out of Volume 5 and like Season 3. It's like it's a lot about Charlie's mental health, but then like the last chapter of this is about Nick's mental health in a way. So the movie opens with like Charlie on top of the world. Charlie seems to have everything figured out. He's like conquering his mental health stuff and like doing so much better, and he's like healing his inner child. He's got it all figured out, and it's like Nick doesn't. And like Nick has like an existential crisis throughout like essentially the entire film, which is understandable because he's very like codependent with Charlie, and that's been evident the whole time. But now like Nick has to figure out what Nick wants, and he struggles so hard with that. So it was a really interesting central plot, was just like Nick not knowing who Nick is, which like is really interesting because when Charlie first met Nick, like Nick was struggling with that. Then he met Charlie and his life became all about Charlie, but like Nick never figured out who Nick was. So it was really interesting that like Alice is like, yeah, but we never actually solved this. Let's solve it now, kind of thing.
Yeah, because even like Woody is figuring out that he's bisexual, obviously, like, that is a big part of figuring out who he is.
Yes.
But at the same time, all of that has always been linked to Charlie because Charlie was his bisexual awakening, and his first partner, his first boyfriend. So, yeah, it's kind of like that's hard to like be able to have this piece of yourself that is so important to you and like really like you really know yourself with this, but it is completely linked to this person because they've been there since the beginning. They're kind of the person who triggered this whole thing to happen. So it's like, how does he separate himself from Charlie in that way without like losing his identity? Like, that's tough.
And it's like, I think Nick also like doesn't want to separate himself from Charlie is like the other thing too, because like when Nick talks about his future before he figures shit out, like Charlie is the one constant. Like, I think like in the future, like the details are fuzzy. Like, what school do I want to go to? What do I major in? Like, what does my job look like? Like, Nick doesn't seem to know that stuff. What are my hobbies? But like, Charlie's going to be there seems to be the thing he's clinging to or like confident about. So I think it's also like scary and hard for him to be like, well, I don't want to like, I want Charlie. That's what I want. But like, to figure out what I want, I have to like separate, and like that's scary. Like I don't want to do that. Also, I think that's part of his dilemma.
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry, Kaitlynn. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm imagining things apparently.
I want you to have a point and debate me, Kaitlynn.
Tell me I'm wrong, please.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Roast me. Oh my gosh, what was it? Brain.
Sorry, I derailed you.
I was gonna add on to your thought. I totally just like lost it.
I was talking about Nick not wanting to separate himself from Charlie.
Yeah.
To figure things out. Yeah.
And then like when he does like admit that he does want to go. Oh, when he wants to go to Leeds. When he like first goes, like I think part of it, like the appeal is like when he finds out that it's very like accepting of queer people. It's very like just really fits him, and he starts imagining like I could really have a life here. But then also at the same time, he's struggling with this feeling from like carrying back to season 3, like the whole journey with Charlie and his eating disorder. Like he's scared of abandoning Charlie or making Charlie feel like he's being abandoned. And I think maybe part of that is because of like when Charlie was like in the hospital and everything for a while, that was like multiple months that Nick didn't get to see him like very much. Like he would go visit obviously, but like Charlie wasn't there. Like he wasn't part of his life. He was trying to get better, and Nick was constantly worrying about him. And Nick is scared of like him making Charlie feel like he has to keep going without Nick after Nick knows what that was like being without Charlie. I think it's part of it. And also I think just the idea of like being without him again for so long, like it scares him because it was so hard the first time.
Yeah, and I think like also he's like, if I'm not there to be the good boyfriend, like what if something really bad happens? I think that's where you get like he has the nightmare where Charlie dies.
Ugh.
And because he's like he basically explained it. He's like, all the things happened again, but I wasn't there, and like it got so bad that you died. And then I think what Nick says. Like, first of all, great scene, Kit. That was a beautiful scene. I'm gonna miss you as Nick Nelson. You're so good at it, especially his little Nick smile that he does. I'm gonna miss that. But in that scene, he says how he felt when Charlie was gone, where he said that there was nothing, I was nothing. So I think that's also like again revealing of the fact that like he feels like he's nothing without Charlie. Also, so I think that there's a multitude of reasons that's scary for Nick. And like even like when he told Charlie about Leeds, like Charlie was like, were you scared to tell me that? Because like like I think he was scared. I think it's very scary for Nick.
Yeah, because he's probably worried that it's going to sound like I'm leaving you because I found something better, which is obviously not at all what's happening. And Charlie does not take it that way at all. He just sees how excited Nick is, how happy Nick is, and he's just happy for him.
Right.
Yeah. Also, 5 hours, him saying it's like a 5-hour drive, I'm just like laughing in American, like that's nothing for us.
I know.
It's like you take a 4-hour train and you're in a completely different country. It's like Oh man.
I drive 4 hours.
I
I'm
know.
only halfway through my state.
Same.
For Theora. Yeah.
Literally same.
California's
Oh, my.
humongous. I don't even think that's true. We're horizontally through California. I had to go vertically through California. Maybe they'd do that forever.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
drive like what, 3 hours just to get through Long Island here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But anyway, Nick's plot, I really did enjoy Nick's plot line because again, like for me, I was like, oh yeah, this was not resolved yet when it came to Nick. And so I really like what I wish we could have had is I really wish we could have had one more Nick and Tara scene because I feel like when he's struggling and he needs somebody to talk to that isn't Charlie, like that's usually his go-to person. But like I don't think we had time for it, but I feel like that would have happened. You know what I mean? That's his,
Oh my
like,
god,
confidant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Charlie, like, after they had like their whole breakup situation, Charlie had a moment with Isaac where Isaac was just like, "What is going on, dude? Like, what are you
Yes.
doing?" And then
Right.
Nick's was Tao, obviously, which I thought was interesting, an interesting choice to make Tao the one, and I think it was very fitting given his whole thing with Elle.
I agree.
I was expecting it to be Tara, but it kind of
Me
makes
too.
a lot of sense for it to also be Tao given his situation. But
Also, I won't turn down
Yeah.
a Tao and Nick bonding scene at parties because those are usually great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, Nick really goes through it. I mean, they all do, but like Nick literally like Nick kind of has like a lot of like I'm trying to think of how to describe it, but basically like a lot of shifts in his demeanor and his behavior like throughout this movie that like obviously Charlie clocks what's going on. So like literally like when they're at the party where Queer Intentions is performing, Nick gets like first of all Nick gets like so wasted because the amount of shots that the boys have him take.
Seriously, that was excessive.
First of all, I would have been dead. I would have
No,
really been
me
like
too.
in the hospital,
Same.
probably dead.
How many shots did he take during that one song?
It was at least 6, I think.
I know. I was like, how does the bartender refill them fast enough for you to take these
I was
shots?
say I literally
That was
had
crazy.
literally I was like 20. I had a margarita at dinner and I had to go to the hospital.
Oh
So
my
I'm
god,
like,
no.
bro.
It's like tequila too. Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
don't know how Nick's not dead. And then he gets up and plays
Bro.
rugby the next day, which was crazy. Like, you should be dead right
No,
now.
literally. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was
This
wild.
boy. Yeah, like then literally so like after the party when like he gets rushed home, he gets
Oh,
sick, like
this
he's in the
scene.
bathroom, he gets really sick, and Charlie's like trying to help and he goes, "I don't need your help." And it's like, dude, okay, what's going on here?
Oh, and then he gets really. This was like novella territory where he gets jealous of that guy that was hitting on
Oh
Charlie.
my God, yeah.
He almost fights him in the parking lot. Like, yeah. So it was like many signs that like Nick is not okay and Nick doesn't know what to do with these feelings. But like, the crux of it is like to your point, Charlie can see, but then like Charlie's like, listen, we spent all this time with you being there for me when I was being super vulnerable about the fact that I wasn't okay. And like Charlie's dilemma is like, okay, now the roles have reversed. Let me be the one to like carry your emotional burden, but you have to like voluntarily share it with me. And Nick's like, I'm fine. What sad feelings? And then like that rubs Charlie the wrong way. He's like,
Yeah.
why can't I want to do that for you and you're not letting me, you know?
Yeah, I think it's two things. It's like Nick doesn't want to make Charlie worry.
Yes.
But also I think in his mind he kind of is doing the whole like, and I'm guilty of this, like, you know, I haven't gone through what you've gone through, so I'm totally fine. Like I don't struggle with like feelings of self-harm. I don't struggle with feelings of like an eating disorder. I don't struggle with like feeling like I want to hurt myself. I am okay. Like you are dealing with all this, so I want to be here for you. And it's like, but Nick, that's not how it works, buddy. Buddy.
I know. Nick doesn't like know how to be a mess around Charlie in this way. Because to your point, it's like, oh, it's a pity contest, or like my problems are nothing compared to your problems. But like Charlie wants to know about your problems. I guess like I wonder if part of Nick is just like, if I'm not the perfect boyfriend, I'm not perfect. Will he will he not want me anymore? You know, I wonder if that's in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and I think when
A
he
little
does
bit.
like, I think when he verbally lashes out, like when he's just like, I don't need your help, or when when he says to Charlie, you don't have to use your
Yep.
therapy speak on me. I think
Yes,
a lot of
that.
that. First of
That.
all, good on Charlie for saying fuck this, I'm leaving.
Yes.
I
No,
mean,
that
good
was-
for standing up for yourself against, even if it's your partner, but like in a way that's not just like fuck you. He was just like,
Right.
I'm walking away from this because this is not about me. So I appreciate him for that. And then he even says like, you know, we'll talk later. This is not over. We will talk. He doesn't brush Nick off, but he lets Nick know, I'm not put up with that shit. That's not okay.
Yeah, that crossed a line, Nick.
Yeah.
Nope.
But also I think a lot of that is Nick. We learn later, like Nick kind of even says like his dad like taught him to be tough, taught him to be like to, you know, suppress everything or repress. Yeah. And so it's like he just thinks gotta repress, gotta keep it down, gotta be tough. And so anytime that anybody tries to insinuate that he's being vulnerable or that he's weak or whatever, he's thinking it's an insult almost. And all he's hearing is his father in his mind. So I think that also triggers the anger because he's thinking about his dad, and it's just like, this man.
And then also Nick's worried again. Dad abandoned me because I wasn't perfect. So I think that's it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like the dad really fucked over those. Well, everybody, including Sarah, fucked over the kids though. And so I thought it was a really interesting choice to bring his brother David back in, because you can really see David in a different light too, because David also was like brainwashed the same, you know, got the toxic masculinity treatment from dad too, and he really bought into it, you know, and you can see how it's like not working for David, and like perhaps David has kind of realized that, and like I think Nick is able to see his brother in a different light and be like, you're fucked up just like me. I guess because of our dad was terrible to both of us, you know, and really did a lot of damage as a person. So it's like, it's good, but like, because like that was a lot of David, where he, you know, was always acting tough, and he was like talking down to Nick to make himself feel better, like dad taught him to, you know, trying to toughen up his brother, like dad taught him to, you know what, and he was kept the cycle going of that like toxic behavior. So I'm hoping that changes in the future with like the brothers relationship. I'm hopeful for that between David and Nick.
Yeah, it's really curious about that. Yeah.
I'm just really glad that they had a moment to talk, because obviously they don't talk much because it never ends well with the two of them, but them having like an actual real conversation, like to a certain extent, and them being able to understand each other a little more, I think was very good for their relationship. Obviously they're not in like a great place, but they're in a better place than it was before, where they were not speaking to each other at all. So just this little progress is going to make it so Nick doesn't dread as much when he comes home. Be like, oh no, I understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. Because you get to see all like Nick's anxiety when like David's around.
Yeah, David, especially like throughout season 2 and 3, like just coming into Nick's room without knocking. That was a big attention to detail. Like when he comes in to like comfort Nick, he knocks first.
Yes,
he fucking knocks on the door, and I was like,
he did knock. You're right. I didn't
who
catch
is this
that.
guy?
Good catch.
Who is this guy? Yeah. And then he like literally he comes in and like just sits on the edge of the bed. Whereas like David, like from season 2 and 3, like would just be like in his face, like taking his phone or whatever. This David comes over and he's just like, hey, I'm gonna just sit right here. And he doesn't sit in Nick's way of the TV, which I thought was a very big thing.
He lets him play the video game while they're talking.
I was like, who is this dude? So I'm like, that by itself was just like a big step for like him growing. Obviously, like I think at this point in the timeline, it's like 2 years after season 2's events or something like that.
Almost something like that, yeah.
So he's grown a little bit, and also he's now gone through a breakup with a girlfriend who I wonder if maybe put him in his place a little bit. Good on you, Jess.
Good for you, Jess.
Yeah.
Making the world
Good
a better
for Jess.
place.
Yeah. I wonder if he got a bit of a rude awakening. Although I don't know if it's like he broke up with her or she broke up with him. We don't know.
Yeah, they didn't. The movie didn't explicitly tell us that. Like Volume 6 does, but in the movie they don't tell us what happened. But
Yeah. But he did.
But just like reading David, I agree with you. I think he had a come to Jesus moment with whatever the hell happened with that breakup, because he just seemed like he reflected, you know.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like that's what he needs on his journey of like healing and growing up too. Like also, like if you want to go back to the theme of like growing up that can happen on any timeline. It's not this like, and then after high school you're just magically an adult because laws. Like, is this not how humans work? It's like an emotional state, a mental state, adulthood. It's not just your age. So like David's also maturing and growing up, you know, I think is a hint there.
Yeah.
Along those lines, can we talk about Nick's mom? First of all, we did not get Olivia Colman, but we did. I was waiting and waiting and waiting for my absolute favorite part of Heartstopper Volume 6, which was Nick. Anytime Sarah Nelson is talking to Nick, it makes me emotional. Like every single time they have conversations. And just like my absolute favorite scene in this whole movie is when Nick is just like expressing his frustration that he doesn't know how to express his frustration to his mother, and he has this long soliloquy about how he feels and all of this stuff, and then Sarah says, quote, "Some people go a whole lifetime without knowing themselves, even a fraction of what you just expressed." I was like, this is a mic drop moment to be like, Nick, look in the mirror, like, you got this, son. Like, damn. Oh, that made me so emotional. Oh, I love it.
I did kind of appreciate the way that they introduced her as this is now Sarah.
Yes.
At the hospital, where of course Nick just kind of naturally goes, "Hey mom," like how guilty he sounds. He's like, "Hey mom."
Oh yeah, I just
like
decked a rugby player. Sorry.
I did a stupid thing. I'm sorry, mom. And then Charlie just naturally going, "Hi Sarah, hi future mother-in-law," kind of style thing. Because you know at this point she's like, "Don't you dare call me Miss Nelson. Don't you dare."
I know.
It is Sarah.
It's mom.
Yeah.
Call me mom.
Mom 2. I am bonus mom.
Mom 2.0. Mama Sarah.
Yeah. So we were calling Haley Atwell
Olivia Colman 2.0.
So what is this? Olivia Colman 3.0?
I was just calling her Sarah.
This is Sarah. Sure. This is just Sarah.
I'm just gonna call her Sarah Nelson. We'll just like give her dues.
Yeah. I feel like Olivia Colman, I appreciate like her characterization of Sarah in the show so much. I do, though I can't remember this actress's name, genuinely, I feel so bad. But like the lady who is playing Sarah in the movie, she kind of reminds me a lot more of Sarah from the novel.
I agree.
From the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Just she seems more like book Sarah to me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Her mannerisms, the way she kind of holds herself, like Olivia Colman emotes differently, but like, yeah, that is the Sarah from the graphic novels that we got in the movie. I agree with that.
Yeah, both really had their own takes on the mother, and they both were just like such great characterizations.
Sarah Nelson in any form is just great.
Yeah, best mom.
Even Haley Atwell, like it does all great.
Oh man, I am sad we didn't get Haley Atwell back because I know I was hoping
she'd show up, but you know, time, budget. I was
hoping. I need Agent Carter.
I know.
Back in the, especially now that Kit and Joe are both Marvel guys.
Now we have Kit's also in the MICU.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I said this to my friend. I was like, "There's no way that he and Joe will cross paths like in the MCU, just because their characters don't really fit."
I know.
Like if they did, I want to see them fight.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yes.
Cyclops versus Wiccan would be just so epic.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to make sense. Just please let it happen. Some weird like alternate universe. Bring Doctor Strange back or whatever. Like have some weird scenario.
No,
they could figure it out.
Joe and Kit would have a blast with it too. They would just go at each other's necks. It would be so fun.
It would be so fun. I would love that.
Maybe someday manifest. Maybe someday just
Manifest, everyone. Manifest at home, please. Please and thank you. Back to Sarah Nelson, though. I just want to one more thing about the scene that I was talking about with Nick and Sarah. I love that when she starts talking to him about like the dad and kind of all that stuff, and the way she talks to Nick in that scene, it was very much like, you're an adult, so let me be honest with you about adults, kind of thing, where he's like, no, mom, like, you didn't mess up, it was all dad. And she's like, I'm your parent, but I'm a human, and humans make mistakes. Like, I own the fact that I makes mistakes. I'm not guilty about it now, but like, you know what I mean? I love the way she handled that conversation with him, like talking to him like he's an adult, because he kind of is at this point, and was very transparent about it. And my absolute favorite thing she says to him is that, like, love is a choice. It's not fate. It's not destiny. It's a choice. And you choose to love somebody every single day. And that's like, thank you, Alice. Like, that is the anti-Disney propaganda. You know what I mean? Like, Disney propaganda is like, oh, it's fate and it's magical. And it's like, no, it's actually something you actively choose to do, you know? And like, I love that conversation. It was just so real. And again, I love that it's like mom as an adult talking to her son as an adult about this very real thing he's dealing with. And it's such a beautiful, I love their relationship so much, but that conversation was just so beautiful. And I was just very happy to see the way it was executed in the film, because I just loved it from the novel, and I loved it so much. That was one of my favorite scenes.
I love that she tells Nick, and you've always led towards love. And I'm like, that actually sums up Nick like so well. That sums up him perfectly, actually. Like, he has always just leaned towards love.
It's so true. That's why he's the golden retriever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who then proceeds to help a golden... Was it a golden retriever?
They made Biscuit a golden.
This shy little guy.
Oh my god. I
was
sad
that Nick didn't get Biscuit.
Well, for now he's got Nellie and Henry, and then maybe... he and Charlie get dogs later on down the road. I think Daisy, and I don't remember the other one's name.
I don't remember the other one's name, too. But I feel like it was a big dog and a small dog also, but I just can't remember. One might have been a golden, actually.
There's a comic that Alice made like years ago. That's like it's called The Haircut, and it's like Nick cutting Charlie's hair. And Nick, like, at some point, like, he kisses Charlie, and like the razor accidentally like skims over. I have to go find this now. He accidentally shaves Daisy's head. It's so funny. This is from like years ago.
I have to find this now. That's hilarious.
It's like an epilogue story of them like long into their relationship. They have their dog, and it's like, oh no, you shaved the dog.
Nick would do that by accident by being too gay.
Yeah. It's very
to
funny.
Function.
Yeah.
It's that tunnel vision thing that Nick and Charlie have, is something that never changes. And like, honestly, like that was happening in the beginning of the film too. And I was just like very happy to see that when they're like at the party, and like Nick is just like, Charlie's so hot, isn't he? Like, and just like they just still have that tunnel vision, sugary sweetness thing going on. And I feel like that is something that will never change with Nick and Charlie. Hence shaving the dog back. So.
I was even just like, God, you're such a simp. And he's just like, yeah, and what?
Yeah,
and what?
Good on you, mate. You know? Oh, wait. Okay. I have another scene. Anything else about Nick? I have like one little other scene I want to talk about, but that's all I have for Nick.
I have a whole section on the breakup scene itself, but we can definitely get to that later.
Okay, yeah. I have something funny I want to talk about, and we'll talk about it. The breakup is its own thing on my notes.
Yeah.
Too. Okay. Can we talk about when Tori comes out to Charlie in the movie?
Oh my god!
This was hilarious, because like the Volume 5 callback where she's like, oh, I could have sworn I told you that. And I was like, you cheeky bastard, Alice. She did in Volume 5.
In the books, she did.
Skipped it in the series. I laughed my ass off at that line. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I thought he knew. And then I was like, and then I read the Volume 6. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not in here. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't she do this on the Ferris wheel?
in volume 5, but in the series she doesn't tell him. So it's a really funny way to call back to that. And Jenny, of course, delivers it like a queen. That
I
line.
know.
That was hilarious.
I know. I love that
that.
that Alice brought the scene, like some of the dialogue into the scene, even though it was from the previous like volume.
Yes.
She's able to tie it. I love the way she ties the dialogue in. Like there's so much like dialogue from like stories that she wrote like years ago. Like the previous volumes or even like the novellas, and she was able to tie it like so neatly into the story that is the existing story now with these characters. And I'm like, damn, that was one of them. Is like I feel like she just tied it in so well.
I mean, at this point, like she was just. It was a great like final bow to like Heartstopper, the like universe she's been mentally in for a decade, you know, and like it just goes to show you how much she cares about it, you know, and just like was able to do all of that in this final film. She's such a goddamn good writer. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. I do love this. I do love this scene because Charlie even says, like, hey, this might sound really shitty of me to ask you, but, like, why are you with him? Like, if you're asexual and he's whatever you're describing, which we know canonically he's pansexual, but that's obviously not disclosed in the movie.
Correct.
It's like, he's like, if he's pan and you're ace, like, how do you guys make it work as a couple? And she's like, we just do because we love each other. Like we're happy together, so and that's all that matters. And I love that. I feel like that's something that I think I had to unlearn. Just like growing up in like my society, like my community, where it's like there was a set standard of like what a relationship should look like. I mean, it's also just high school in general. It's like this is what your relationship should be like, and it's like trying to unlearn that as an adult and being like, your relationship is just what your relationship is, and it's just between you two, and you get to decide what that means. 100%. That's just what it is. So
I also love that they get called Tori and Michael, because I don't know if I forget if Tori says it, like we're Tori and Michael, or if someone she does.
She does.
Yeah.
Because I love that, since we keep getting told you're Nick and Charlie, you're Nick and Charlie, you're Nick and Charlie. That's like that's the one way a relationship should be. So I like that we have Tori going like, and we're Tori and Michael, because like not every relationship is going to be different, and every relationship's their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that it's showing like there's no one way to have a relationship. Like it's not you have to be Nick and Charlie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's also like it was her way of skirting labels too, which is another like important point that I think maybe Alice was trying to make, that like where Charlie's like, Nick's my boyfriend, like with Tori and Michael, like they don't have those labels with each other, and I think that's why she pauses and it's like, we're Tori and Michael, like that's it. And then to just kind of add on to what you were saying, because I agree, their relationship is their relationship, and they're like, it doesn't matter how you describe it, it doesn't matter what you think about it, it matters that it works for us, and that's kind of it. So I'm glad that I feel like there's a bit of catharsis there for Alice writing, being able to write Tori like this now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the scene, like this specific scene, I don't know if this was improvised by the actors or not, but there's like the very end of the moment where Michael comes off the rink and like comes into the audience, whatever that's called. And Tori comes up to him and says hi. She like raps on his helmet.
Oh,
and
yeah, that was
thing
cute.
where he like knocks it against the glass just to be like, this is how sturdy it is. I was like, I wonder if that was improvised, because that was really cute. And that I would believe it if that was improvised. It's so silly.
I wonder if they had to practice being weird, like together.
Yeah, just being goofy, which I love.
Yeah. Like that couple, like that weird couple energy where they're like, they're happy in their own weird little bubble over there. You know, it doesn't need to make sense to us. It makes sense to them. And look at how happy they are.
Yeah, I really like that.
That was really cute. Also, I love I forget, was it the novella? I can't remember where it's revealed that Michael is pansexual, but I like that she kept the line, or Alice kept the line in here for Tori that was, I'm surprised you haven't noticed how much she talks about Ryan Gosling. Like it's really fast, but like she did say that in
Yeah.
the movie.
Oh,
I don't
it's Pedro
know.
Pascal.
Or
It is
Pedro
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal.
Sorry, yeah,
Movie.
thank you, Pedro Pascal.
With Michael's same, honestly. But like,
It's Pedro Pascal.
so I don't know if it's ever been said in any of the books or anything. I just know that Alice, like, whenever she's making like her pride posts and everything, she always gives Michael the pansexual flag, and she has openly said, like, canonically he is pansexual. I don't know if it's ever been said explicitly.
I think I know where I got it from. So when she re-released Solitaire, I read it in Solitaire. She like, or not, sorry,
Oh!
Alice changed it and like explicitly put in there that Michael was pansexual. But then in like they did like an author's like Q&A at the end, and she said it, or Alice said exactly what you were saying. Where like on the first time I wrote it, I didn't do any of that, but like reflecting on it, I was like, yeah, he was always pansexual, and Tori was definitely reads as an arrow ace person. So like Alice went back and like edited some stuff in the re-release of Solitaire, so it is in there. And
No,
that
you're
she
right.
had, and Tori does say this line where she's like, "Wow, I'm surprised you don't hear how much he talks about insert male actor." And then there's like, I think there's like a flashback of like him doing it. And they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, he does do that a lot."
Yeah, in the comics he does. Except for the comics
Yeah.
is Paul Mescal, which I think is really funny.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Because also, yeah, same.
Again, good little like one-liners in there that like call back to other source materials from Heartstopper. That one made me laugh too, because I was like,
Yeah.
I love Michael. I love how much they put him in it. That made me happy. I love him.
Yeah, he was in the movie more than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting to see him, so I was very happy he was there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I'm only slightly sad they weren't at Pride, right? I don't think they were at Pride. But
Oh no.
No,
that's probably not Tori's
no.
scene, to be fair, so.
Yeah, no, Tori, a crowd, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Tori would get
I
a
say.
drone and look at it and then be like, we can go now.
Yeah. I think that's fair. It's
Yeah.
probably just not Tori's thing. Is like, that would be the only reason why they wouldn't be there, for sure.
But I'm glad they managed to fit a pride parade into the movie. I thought they were going to cut that, to be honest, for time. So I'm glad they still managed.
And budget.
Also that too.
Yeah, they threw their own
that
little
is
parade.
so much.
It's wild.
Yeah. Before we continue, I think we should take a break to do some shout outs for our cast crew over on Patreon.
Woo! Yay, Patreon.
Hey.
Our chaos crew on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Elena, Anita N, Ash, You So Stunning, INA, Blue Wolf 0880, Caroline R, Chloe, Christina H, Danny, Isla, Faye, Girlfriend _J_XIX, Here For It, Jasmine O, Jill L, K Yoshi, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Kiera, Leona J, Livia A, Lovely Things, Mermaid Talia, Michelle G, Nancy D, Pooja S, Regina B, Terry Y, and A Mix Monzone _multi.
Woo!
Woo! And our featured Big Gay Support members for this episode are Angelina, Kyokin, and MM. Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you to everyone who's watching and listening to this right now. Just by listening to this episode, you are supporting us. Not everyone can be a Patreon member, and we totally understand that. If you do want to check out Patreon, we do have a free tier just for, so you can, it's basically like our newsletter tier. You can keep up to date of what we're doing. There's also a 7-day free trial of our Big Gay Supporter tier, so you can check out our content ad-free for a week and see if it's right for you. We also do some giveaways periodically, so you can look out for that. That's another reason why you should join our free tier. If you don't want to check out Patreon at all, that's totally fine. Come join our Discord where you can talk to us and other queer media lovers about Heartstopper and all queer media in general. Someone's watching something all the time over there, so if you need recommendations, someone has you covered of what your next watch should be. So make some friends, have fun, and gay it up all over the place. But don't leave, because we're not actually done.
Where do we want to go next? Do we want to jump into the breakup?
I was gonna say, we talked about Nick. Should we talk about Charlie a bit? Like his
Yeah,
journey?
let's talk about Charlie. You're right.
I have some
Charlie
notes.
time to shine.
Yeah, I have some
Do
notes
it.
for him. So like for Charlie's personal like growth in this, especially like we see how far he's come from, especially even just season 3, So like
Yes.
one of the very first scenes when they're at Nick's house, Charlie, mind you, Charlie's barely dressed. He's just in like boxers and like a cardigan. And he's out in the backyard.
Yes.
Season 1, Charlie, first of all, absolutely would never. Season 2, Charlie also would never. Season 3, first half, Charlie absolutely would never.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, wow.
Yeah. He
That's
came
a
a
big
big way
step
with
for
his
him.
body dysmorphia, especially when we get to the when they're doing the disposable camera, and Nick takes that one picture of just Charlie in his boxers sitting in bed. So he's like completely exposed, and like
Yeah.
lets Nick take the picture of it too, you know, forever kind of thing. So yeah, that's a good catch. Like the way Charlie has come a long way with like his being comfortable in his body, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like
Yeah.
then after this, he goes and he openly like quits the rugby team. And I love how blunt
Or
he
Nick.
is.
Or
I-
Nick.
Yeah, I think this also ties back to Nick's journey of like starting to feel like, what do I do with myself? Charlie
Yes.
just flat out says, like, Nick, you do know I joined rugby just because I had a crush on you, right? And I'm like, I love how blunt he was about it. And then like when he leaves, Nick goes into the locker room and he just sits down. And the shot just like lingers on him while all the guys in the back are like bantering or whatever. And I'm like,
Ugh.
ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, you can really feel Nick's mental health struggle start in that scene, in particular in the locker room, and it's just like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie gets a job, which I'm like, hell yeah, Charlie. One note about that made me actually really laugh. So the first scene in the cafe, he calls out latte for Patrick. And the guy gets up.
Oh.
And that is Pat Walters, by the way. The guy who got up is Pat Walters, the executive producer.
That's awesome.
So we've had a cameo from Alice, we've had a cameo from A. Russ Lynn, and now we've finally had our cameo from Pat. I was like, it's about time, because I kept saying, where is my Pat Walters cameo? Finally. And I love that it's just word for Patrick, and he just gets up. First of all, he doesn't even speak. He doesn't even say thanks.
No.
He doesn't say anything. He just gets up and leaves. Which I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, we also had Alice doesn't have a speaking role in this at all. She just appears.
No.
I love that that's like, if you don't know Heartstopper at all, or like the behind the scenes, that's just kind of like a whatever, you know. For me, I was just like, Patrick.
I'm glad they got the cameos in there, particularly at the end, because it's just like, what a better way to like say thank you for everything you've done by just like acknowledging them visually. Even if people don't know who they are, like it's still, I'm glad that they're there. And what a cute way to do it in the coffee shop. That was a really cute one.
Yeah, and it's so quick and
really
so subtle.
Excited.
Yeah.
I got really excited when I saw Alice on the train.
Yeah. Do you think she was drawing again this time?
I hope so.
I say we didn't see a tablet, so we don't know.
Okay, I just want to talk about Alice being on the train and how basically Alice sent Nick to college and how cute that is, because like it was the train to Leeds.
Oh,
so it was like Alice sent her baby off to college, and I just love that so much. Ugh.
Oh my god, yeah, and harkens back to season 1 when she was also cameoed on the train, which by the way, she was busy drawing Nick and Charlie, her comic characters, on the train while she was in that scene.
I remember
which
that.
Loved that.
Yeah, I don't think Alice was drawing this time, but I'll have to go back and double check. But like,
I don't think we saw like her hands. I think we only saw like
just the
I think
face.
we only saw that.
I think it was too like a medium shot. I don't think you saw like what was in Alice's lap. But I like to imagine she was doing something.
Yeah. I will say, not gonna lie, a lot of what I was thinking that whole scene, like when I just saw her, I was like, damn, her hair looks really good.
I know. Alice has amazing hair, by the way.
I'll say, so for like Charlie and like one of the big things that he does is he successfully manages to do like the Pride Club.
Yeah.
Which took a lot of pushback from Mr. Lang. Which, okay, first of all, Mr. Lang says, let's wait a few months and revisit. I was just like, I know this. I know this game. Yeah. We all know this game, dude. We know what you're going to do, Mr. Lang. You're gonna say no again. You're gonna ignore it. You're gonna ghost him, whatever. It's like, no. Hate
Yep.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, later on in the story, Mr. Ajayi says, like, he says one of my favorite lines in this, actually.
Yes.
He says to Charlie, he's like, look, as your teacher, I would respect what Mr. Lang says. However, as a fellow homosexual, fair line, historically, us queers have never asked for permission to exist. I'm like, period.
Mic drop. Oh,
yeah, literally.
Yeah, that was one of the best lines. I agree with you there. Just like, thank you, Alice. The truth of that.
Yeah, I think it kind of harkens back to like what I appreciate about the series is it doesn't like linger too much on like the process of like, so like in this, pretty much right after this, we see that he does successfully get the Pride Club. We don't necessarily have to see all like the fighting for it and everything. We just see like, oh, okay, it actually worked out. Charlie probably listened to Mr. Ajayi, gave Mr. Lang the pushback, and Mr. Lang finally caved. We can kind of use our imagination with that.
Totally.
And then be like, hey, the Pride Club, look at this. Speaking of the Pride Club. Oh, anyway.
I was just really quickly about the Pride Club. I love that it wasn't like the way, like Charlie had so much like, he had a lot of ambition for this club, like once he's in the club and like his vision for it, where he's like, it's a safe space, but we're gonna educate ourselves. We're gonna like donate to a charity. And I love the way he like automatically was like, we have goals. This is more than a hangout. Like we're gonna be a community and help the community. And I love that about Charlie. He had such a vision for it, you know?
Yeah.
I love that they're gonna watch queer TV shows and movies.
Yeah, I do love that too.
It was cute.
Yeah, expose themselves. They're just gonna do big gay energy, basically.
That's exactly what the podcast will come out of that. Alfie's gonna lead it. It's gonna be great.
I would love Alfie to do a podcast.
Right? Little cutie. Build his confidence, you know?
I would go to war for Alfie. He's so cute.
He's the cutest. They also cast the cutest child to play Alfie. Also, that kid is so lovable.
I know. Yeah. So even like the first day of Pride Club. That's what I was still thinking. First day of Pride Club, Mr. Farouk comes in and he's like, don't get excited. I'm here I'm play on your team. And Tao's like, so it's true you're dating, right? And he's like, I called it. It's like, bitch, no, you didn't.
I know. Fucking Tao.
I was like, actually, Charlie's the one who called it first, quite frankly, because Charlie's the one in season 3 who said, I think they're dating.
Tao's the worst. I love Tao, though. He's like, no, I'm a good ally.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then you see all the kids just start flooding in. And it's like, we don't know if they're all queer or not. We just know that, like, this is a very inclusive club. So it's just like, oh my god.
And, like, we don't need to know that detail either. Because, like, you know, like, it's better that we don't know. I
know. It makes me wish we had something like that in my high school. Obviously, that was 13 years ago. So I'm like, different time. Meh. Maybe they do now. Maybe a high school does now. I don't know.
Yeah, you know. I would hope some Charlie over there made a club, you know.
I hope so too. Oh my god.
We had something for that.
Oh,
I was too closeted to go. I was too confused to go.
That's valid. Especially like their ages too. Like I forget like what the youngest grade is, like how young those kids actually are. Cause like Alfie looked really young. Like, cause like when we're talking about our high school experience, probably we were more like older teenagers versus like Alfie looked like a young teenager.
I want to say, I mean,
scarier.
My brain thinks 11 because that's when Tao and Charlie met.
That I was like, I'm like 11, 12. It's something around that, but like young, like just became a teenager. Yeah, that would make sense. Right. So that's even like scarier. And so it was even like a braver thing for him to do, like as a very young teenager to like go to this club that, especially at an all boys school, like for all the reasons Charlie said in his speech, like, so I love that. It was a good moment with Alfie. It was really cute. And Charlie was so excited. He's like, oh my god, Alfie, you're here. And he calls him by his name. Like, there's nothing more validating that. Be like, oh my god, Charlie remembers me. Like, everything about that was very sweet and cute.
I know. The only thing that would have tied it up to where I would have probably started sobbing is if we saw Alfie at Pride.
Oh my god,
that wouldn't have happened for sure.
Yeah.
But I would have
Yep.
started
Mhm.
sobbing. I've been like, if you just see Elf,
Yep.
little tiny Alfie just like walking with everybody, I've been like, oh.
That would have been so cute. Oh
He
my
was probably
God.
watching on the TV.
They should
and he
have
was just
taken
like,
the Pride Club.
yeah.
Pride Club should have had a float. But
They
to be
should have.
fair, Charlie was very
Maybe
out
next
of
year.
it.
Maybe in a couple years.
Yes.
They'll kick that off. Oh.
Yeah.
What happened? My camera got disconnected. What
I
happened?
think you froze for a second. You're moving
Oh,
again.
no.
Okay.
I'll say you guys
we
were like
could hear
loading.
you though.
Okay. But yeah, like Charlie just like, I think throughout all of this, especially like Charlie is very supportive of Nick in his like discovering like he wants to go to Leeds. Charlie's very happy for him, obviously, because he can see how excited Nick is about it. And I don't think it hits him till later, like because he's so focused on like what is going on in Nick's head, what is Nick feeling anxious about, that Charlie finally realizes later on, oh shit, my boyfriend's leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really sad about this. So, yeah, that's kind of like the big thing. That's most of the things that I had up until like the breakup scene.
I have just one more quick thing about Charlie that I thought was interesting once I like finished the movie, was that like there were I think there's maybe one scene with Charlie and his parents. And so like I thought it was really interesting, and it says a lot about how Charlie's relationship with his mother has evolved also, because like Charlie's at Nick's a lot for sleepovers, you know, and like mom never calls him, tells him to come home. So I think like again, it was like a show don't tell kind of thing for us to be like, wow, like Charlie and his mom, their relationship really has progressed a lot since like volume 5, since season 3, at like 2 and 3, I guess. But yeah, that just struck me at the end. I'm like, wow, I'm not seeing his mom, like, and he's sleeping over at Nick's. That it must mean their relationship got better, you know, and healthier, which is good, like, because that was a tension point for a while with Charlie and a stressor for him and for his mom.
For sure, yeah.
For Charlie, there's a scene that I cry at every single time. And it's when Charlie says, I never used to think about the future. And Isaac says, that's because you were too busy surviving.
Yeah.
Like, that just gets me every single time.
I don't remember if that line was in the books, and if it wasn't,
it was in the books, but it was Charlie's dad saying it to him at Sarah's party.
Oh my god, I don't remember that very well. Oh my god, could you imagine? That would have fucking shattered me. Oh my god. I think that's really nice that they made it Isaac to say that, though.
I
think that's
agree.
really cool.
And the line delivery was great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Toby did a great job with that.
But yeah, it's such a true statement, because like, especially like, again, because Charlie's been surviving for years. It's not just like last year with his mental health stuff. That's been ongoing for a long time with Charlie.
You know, I didn't think about that till now. There's a moment like earlier on, Nick, like while they're intimate, Nick says, one day we'll have our own place.
Ooh, yeah.
And Charlie like pauses.
Freezes. He's like, what?
And you know, I'm like, that makes so much more sense thinking about it like that. Like Charlie doesn't think about the future until like up until now. And then obviously like at the end of the movie, he says, you know, I never really thought about the future, but now with you, I can really see a future, like for us especially. And I'm like, damn, that actually makes so much more sense why he freezes in that moment.
Yeah, it's not just my boyfriend thinks we're going to get married one day. Because that also is a big moment when that happens, when you're with somebody and you're like, oh, okay, this is real. Like real. It was more layered with Charlie to the point you're saying, Kaitlynn. Yeah, that does change the context of that scene for me. Because I thought surface level was just like, oh, Nick's like super serious about this relationship kind of thing. But yeah, no. Charlie's just come such a long way. I'm so proud of him.
I know, our sweet boy.
All right, but our sweet boy does go through it. And this was a weird moment for me. Because again, when they get to the breakup, because like I was watching it and I was like, this this doesn't happen in the novel, but I'm like, but also I feel like I've read this before. And so like it took me a while to realize that like this is the novella happening like on screen. And I was like, why does this seem familiar? Even though this didn't happen in volume 6. So I didn't see it coming because I forgot I read the novella. So I read it like years ago.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like I thought it was really interesting the way Alice decided to approach this. And like the way she wove those those two stories together and like created a new one in a way, it was really interesting. And wow, it really changed so many things because yeah, Pride was awkward. It just made a lot of things awkward, and the way they decided to tell it with like Nick getting in the car, and I thought it was just him imagining stuff at first.
Oh yeah.
But no, like it was like he's like, oh well, if I make this decision, what could happen? But no, it was just they went into Charlie's, then they went in Nick's from the starting point of the car. So at first, when I watched, I was like, wait, what is it? What is happening? And then I was real sad when I realized they actually broke up. I was like, damn it, thought it was a dream. The one time it's not a dream.
Seriously,
I was sad. I was sad.
But I thought it was a good way to like show both of their stories.
Mm-hmm.
By going like backwards and like being like, all right, now here's what happened for Nick. Because at first I didn't realize that was what was happening, and then I was like, oh no, this is what happened in the same time period.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of episode 4 from season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like both their POVs when Charlie was in the hospital and all that. Really like that.
Yep.
Oh my god,
All
yeah,
right.
no, this scene. I do appreciate a lot the new take that Alice had on it from the novellas, because obviously, like in the novella, obviously the novella was written way before she wrote Heartstopper, so it's a very different idea at the time. This was like her very first introduction of Nick and Charlie and their relationship, besides Solitaire, obviously, where they're not the main characters. And in the original novella, Charlie's kind of the one that starts the fight. Like, he gets drunk. He's, like, so upset about Nick being so excited about uni. He's, like, so grumpy about it because he's just like, ugh, all he wants to do is talk about uni. Like, Charlie's kind of a butt in the novella.
Yeah. It's like, he's a manifestation of what Nick is talking about in the movie being afraid of. Like, that is what Charlie was doing in the alternate universe that was the novella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
And this side, it's like a lot of it, not that Nick like instigates it, but like a lot more of the anxiety is coming from Nick's side now.
Yeah.
And we only kind of get like a touch of like we just get a taste of Charlie being like, oh yeah, my boyfriend's leaving. Damn, my boyfriend's leaving. What do I do?
Yeah, it really became Nick's story more so than Charlie's story in that conversation. And what was interesting about the way it went down here was that it wasn't like, because to your point, in the novella, Charlie's already in a bad headspace.
Yeah.
Like, looking for a fight with Nick, basically, like subconsciously. And then, because he's upset, right? And then they get into the fight. This was one of those situations where it's just like a conversation that you think's gonna go well, deteriorates naturally, and it just ends up in hell. Like, the worst possible place you can think of. Like, neither one of them went into that conversation thinking we're gonna leave this room and break up. And it just like happened. And it's just like, what just happened? You're Nick and Charlie. What just happened? Like, when you're watching it, you know?
Yeah. Ugh. It really breaks my heart. There's like this moment you see Charlie kind of start to regress a little bit. Like, he kind of he reminds me so much of what he was like in season 1, where he falls back into the habits of trying to be like not being an inconvenience and trying to be apologetic, especially like the moment that Nick says, so you want to break up then, or whatever he says. And Charlie, I almost thought that Charlie now would just be like, that's not what I said. But Charlie just goes, if that's what you want. And I'm like, you almost see him just like curl back in on himself and like fall back into season 1 Charlie. And I'm like, no, Charlie, you've come so far. It's so, it just reminded me so much of like how he had to make himself small for Ben.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because Nick is nothing like Ben. Nick is not abusive, first of all. Nick is just dealing with his own shit in a way that's like he doesn't know how to handle himself.
Yeah.
And mind you, obviously Ben was dealing with his shit in the same, or kind of at the same time, but also was taking it out on Charlie in a way that was abusive. So, you know, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And so it's so like, oh my god, Charlie, like it's kind of just like a repeat of what happened in season 1. And it's a whole different context, a whole different situation, and it's like, oh no. Oh.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point that, like, it's because, like, again, like, he didn't go into that conversation thinking that's where this was headed, and I feel like that's just showing you how out of sorts Charlie was, and, like, he lost control of the conversation and was just like, is that what, like, I also wonder if part of Charlie is like, is that what this has been about the whole time, Nick? Is that what you actually want? Because you're not telling me the truth, and I know you're not telling me the truth. So I think he was, like scared also to be like,
True.
Is that what this was all about? Because, like, Nick brought it up, you know? But yeah, it was a regression of just like, I think he was just scared, like, because that's, you know, to find yourself we're in a breakup conversation, like, when did this happen? You know, like, that's terrifying. Yeah, for Charlie. I mean, Nick too. Nick didn't expect to get there, but he's like, fuck, I'm in too deep now. Like, what did I just say?
And then you know damn well that Charlie, after the fact, is just like, was this my fault? Did I cause this? Did I do this? Like, did I make him feel like I wanted to break up? What did I do? Holy shit. Like, you know when he was doing that.
Doesn't he need, like, an emergency session with Jeff after that? Like, soonish after that? Yeah, so I think you're right. I think it's exactly what Charlie went and did. Like, just mentally spiraled like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to grab both these boys by their shoulders and just shake them, being like, stop, you love each other.
Which is what everybody else tries to do, basically.
Oh my god, literally. Oh my god. So, speaking of the novella, two different things that Alice brought back to the novella. 2 quotes that she brought back that I was like, yes, when I saw them. First one is Isaac at the club being like, you're Nick and Charlie. If there was ever 2 soulmates, it'd be you guys. Or however he says it. I'm like, that's from the fucking novella, man.
Yes, I remember that.
And then the second one, I actually squealed when I saw it. It was at the end, when Nick and Charlie are in the hotel. And Nick goes, okay, fine, I love you more than my dogs. Again, straight from the fucking novella. Ah!
That was... First of all, that's mean to make him say that, Charlie. Love between people and love between dogs are different things. Dogs are sacred. Different. But yes, Nick obviously loves Charlie. Yeah, that was cute.
Oh man. Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else really to say about the breakup.
So it's just like typical Alice Oseman fashion, where it's like, in this scene, you have already seen like both the characters' personal journeys, and so you know like where their head's probably at. Whereas, like, I mean, it can be so easy when you see an argument between 2 people to kind of like pick sides, or like just assume that one person's being a certain way for just because they're being an asshole or whatever. And in this scene, like, you've seen what both of them have been dealing with, and you know, like, yeah, this is hard for both of them.
Yeah, that's really true. There's no like side to be taken in that argument as an audience member. It's just like, again, like, I feel like neither of them went into that conversation with like an agenda to get to that let's break up thing. So it's just like, you feel for both of them, because like Nick didn't want to say it, you know what I mean? It was just like, that's why it's like, can you? And that's why it was hard to see. And you see that like regret or like this was a mistake kind of thing with the two of them, where you get to see them both like texting and then erasing over and over again.
Classic,
you know, to be like, obviously they know they need to talk. They know this was a mistake, but like, they've never broken up before. You know what I mean? It's give them some grace that they don't know what the heck is going on, you know, or how to handle that other than just like isolate and fall apart and be sad, you know.
Yeah. Also, when they're texting each other, like both of them, the last text they like draft before deleting it is "I love you."
I know.
And it's both of them. I'm like, oh my god, you too.
It's like smoosh the heads together.
I know.
You're Nick and Charlie.
Yeah, I literally have on here Nick and Charlie on their favorite thing: writing texts and deleting them a million times.
Yeah. No, they did it multiple times, not just like multiple times in one moment. It was multiple moments of them being like, okay, can we talk about the fact that they get back together, tell nobody, and then they show up at prom together?
That's true.
That was
they
fun,
do.
guys. Why did you send a photo of you guys like kissing in the group chat? They were like, nah, let's be more dramatic.
I know. I have to wonder how soon after is this? Like, is it literally the day after? Maybe.
Right. How long were they keeping that a secret if it was more than a day?
Oh man.
How did they
They'd
not
be
out
terrible at
themselves
keeping
at
a
school?
secret.
I know. Exactly. They would have outed themselves.
I was saying they weren't good about keeping a secret when Nick was not out yet. So.
Oh my god, I know. They're terrible.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I loved the everything about the ending, but so okay, I want to go back to this though. So
yeah.
Right after they break up, there's the whole situation where we see first of all we see Charlie's side of the story, and then we see Nick's afterwards. I love this scene going back to Heartstopper being centered around friendship, that being like such a heart and soul of the story. And Charlie's friends come through and they're just like, hey, first of all, big attention to detail here. Throughout the entirety of this whole sequence, before they come in, you guys know the music sign above Charlie's bed?
Yes,
It's off
it's
the whole
off.
time. It's off the whole time. And then, I noticed this upon my last rewatch. Isaac, when he comes in, he turns it on.
Yes.
Turns it on.
I know. I saw that. I was like,
yeah.
They brought Charlie back to life.
I love
that's supposed to be on.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, dude? What's this about? Like, who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, exactly.
I think it's Isaac says, Tori says you haven't been eating, and then Tao says, that's not your fault, we don't blame you, and Elle's like, but that's not great, so we're gonna make you some pasta.
That was cute.
And I was like, pasta heals everything.
It does. As long as Tao's not cooking it, unless he's gotten better at cooking since the last time he tried to cook, and he was doing that thing with the 2 pans.
That's so true. I forgot about that.
That's still one of my favorite moments with Tao. And he's like, doesn't know what he's doing. It was so cute.
His mom's like, please don't burn out of my kitchen, please.
Yeah, she's like, please, I can't afford a new house. But I love how much he tries. That's one of the reasons I love Tao. But you gotta love them. I love the way everything about them in that scene, because they're like, we're sympathetic or empathetic towards your situation. However, we love you. We're not gonna let you wallow by yourself. We're gonna be with you. And it's exactly what he needed, because when they were like watching the movie, Charlie like did eat some food, and then he like leans his head on Elle.
I know.
You know, like, and he does that with all of his friends, where he just like leans his head on them. So that was cute.
Yeah. Also, I looked up what movie that was, because I was like, what the hell is this movie? That's Keira Knightley. And it's it's a movie called Colette. It's about it is the story of French author, I'm gonna butcher this name, Sidonie Gabrielle Colette, I think is her name. Who was a woman who like eventually divorced her husband, and like she fell in love with a woman named Missy.
Yeah.
Or Matilda, I think her name was, called Missy, and they like she divorced her husband, and they like went off to be together at the end of the movie. And it's like a true story about an actual author.
Yeah.
And it's seen from what I remember is in the scene, the lines that you hear them reciting in the show or in the movie is like words that Colette herself wrote, I believe. I believe she wrote those words.
Oh, no way.
I think so. That's what I looked up, at least.
They're testing it for the Pride Club to be like, is this educational enough for Pride Club? So they're testing out new movies. That's cute. That's really cute.
Yeah, and then Elle afterwards. Do what?
I wonder who picked the movie.
Probably Tao.
I don't think anyone else is allowed to pick movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. That was a dumb question. Sorry, guys.
And then of course Elle is just like, guys, please come to Pride. I need you there. She literally says, I need you there because I'm fucking scared.
I loved her speech here. It was awful she
Yeah.
had to make it, but it was so real and awful.
Yeah, I thought it was like the most perfect thing, and it made me choke up a little bit. Like, so Charlie literally doesn't even say anything. He just gets up and hugs her, and that's all you need to know. Like, that is his answer of like whether he's coming or not. It's like that's all he needs to say, and I was like, oh, it was really sweet.
Yeah, no, that's like ultimate friendship. It's like I'm hurting and falling apart, but like you need me, I'm gonna be there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't get a ton of, because like we talked about earlier, because this is very Nick and Charlie focused, like understandably so in the film, it's like the friends are very sprinkled without. So like moments like that are extremely impactful, and just again, it is the anchor of like why Charlie got to where he's at. It's because he had such supportive friends that were like really willing to be there when he was at rock bottom, and he is willing to do the same, like prop them up when they really are scared and need him. And so I'm glad we got this scene, because you know we didn't get a lot of scenes with the friends, so this one's very important and like really is like very heart stopper. You know,
it makes me wonder if Charlie and Isaac ever found out the truth about what happened at Elle's interview. Even
that's a good point.
Yeah, because Tao had just said, "Oh, they decided not to air it," and that's all we got of that. And Charlie just was like, "Oh, that sucks." But we don't know if they ever learned the truth.
It's very possible they don't, because like Tao and Elle were in like couples territory where like couples have their own, not secrets, but like share things with each other. You don't share with other people. So it's very possible that that was like a couples conversation and it never like left that. Yeah, I'd be very curious. I feel like I would like to think Elle eventually would tell them, but
yeah,
you're right. It doesn't come up in the books or like anything like that. Like it doesn't come out anywhere else in the Heartstopper universe. It's just kind of like left that line. Yeah, that's a good point. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the comments. Right. Anything you to add about the breakup? I guess for the breakup. I guess we're ending the breakup. Is there any more breakup stuff to talk about? I don't have anything. Do you have anything, Kaitlynn, about Nick and Charlie's breakup?
No.
I'm glad it wasn't permanent.
Yeah. I'm glad that it was kind of left like it kind of was in the novella. It was just like, did they actually break up? Like, is this really a thing? Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, have you guys watched Heated Rivalry?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but go ahead. It's okay. I'm sure people listening have, so please say what you're gonna say.
Anybody who's seen Heated Rivalry, they will know what I'm talking about. So at in the club at Pride, there's a moment where the girl is like, Megan, I think her name is leaning over to talk to Nick, and from Charlie's perspective, he just sees some girl like hitting on him or whatever. All that goes through my mind in that moment is the song All the Things She Said. Which something happens in Heated Rivalry. Again,
that song is in Heated Rivalry? That song? Oh my god, no.
For a very specific reason. And it parallels what happens in this scene.
Okay. I'm excited for this. No, it's on my list. I have not seen it yet. But that song is a bunch of lives, so it's actually perfect for a situation like this. Actually.
Anyway. That's okay. A little detail at Pride that I noticed. I had to watch it like on my third rewatch. I caught this. There's a moment at the Pride Parade where Tara is like on her phone, and it focuses on her, and I'm just like, what's she doing? I didn't know what she's doing. Find out later that was when she was texting Nick. And it's so interesting to me because the text conversation is Nick going, oh, is Charlie gonna be there? And Tara's looking like right at Charlie, and she just says, I don't know.
Yeah, that whole thing was weird because like when you're in Nick's point of view, she writes something, it's like the ... and then it goes away.
Yeah.
It's a crime we didn't get more time with Tara, because I'm like, what is going on with her? Because when you're in Nick's point of view during the breakup, like, you know, we just went over Charlie, the way his friends came out there, and I was like expecting Tara to go see Nick, and that doesn't really happen. But like, this is when they're talking to each other, and like, she's not being super truthful with him. It's just very, like, it's not out of character. I'm sure she had reasons or whatever, but like, it just didn't feel like their relationship, you know? And it's like, and we don't know where their relationship is really at because like they don't have really scenes together in the movie. So yeah, it was very weird to be like, she was going to write something, she deleted it, and then was like, I don't know, when she's already there with Charlie. But I guess like the question was like, is he going to the club?
Yeah.
And I guess maybe she genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's very possible she's gonna be like, he's here now, but like, I don't know. And then like was like,
yeah,
I don't know, Nick.
And she also probably has no idea what the answer would make him do. Like, if she says, yes, he's here, would it make him like come to the club to want to talk to him, or would it make him stay home and wallow? Like, or if she said no, would he come or would he not? Like, we don't really know like what his reaction was. She has no idea what his reaction would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so that he ended up missing out on the Pride Parade, though, because
I know
it was pretty epic.
I know, that made me a little sad because Nick loves him at Pride Parade, so
yeah,
it was sad. And then you had Sad Boy Charlie at the Pride Parade, which, of all the places to be sad, that's a rough one to be sad at. There's just like joy everywhere and just people screaming and yelling and just of joy, and you're just like sad, like poor Charlie, like he's literally just there for Elle, but like it kind of must be torturous in a way because he's just like the opposite of joy, you know? Yeah. I'm surprised he went to the club, actually. Like, I would have thought Charlie would have went home before that. He's like, I did the Pride Parade, I supported you, I can't be at a club right now. I'm really surprised he even went, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if it was just like because he went to the parade, Nick was not there, he probably was like, okay, I'm not going to run into Nick because he's not here. It's probably going to be fine. And then that happens. And you know what's so funny? I just saw my note on this. When he sees Nick with Megan, it reminded me so much of exactly what happens in season 1, episode 3 at Harry's party. Nick is talking to Tara, and Charlie gets like discouraged and he walks away. I'm like, this is the same freaking thing happening right here, except for it's worse. But it's the same thing of like misinterpretation, not really knowing the context of what's going on, just a lot of assumptions, and he's just like, I'm out.
I know, and Charlie's like, I didn't want to be here. I had to see this.
Yeah. Also, Imogen's a lesbian, and she's wearing the shirt that says I'm a lesbian. Shout out to Imogen.
I love Imogen. I love her so much. I'm glad, I'm glad she figured her shit out. She's been on a journey to figure out who the hell is Imogen. I just wish when she was explaining all of that in the movie, people would stop cutting her off because I wanted to hear what she had to say.
I know.
It was so annoying. I'm like, let the woman talk.
Or I say, I know we also didn't really get Imogen and any of Sahara, so Kaitlynn, I know that whole thing.
I know, that ship is dead, sorry.
You really wanted them to be together.
They didn't even tease it.
I did, but they're still friends, and she's supporting Sahara, so that's fine.
Maybe in 10 years they'll reconnect, like when Harry met Sally kind of thing.
Yeah. You never know. I honestly thought they were going to go there at the beginning when Queer Intentions is playing the song and Sahara's making this big deal about how she wrote this song and it's about a girl. And I was like, is this for Imogen? But it wasn't. It was just to set up the fact that she was going to be a solo artist later. But I was like, oh, it's going to happen. But I was bamboozled. So I don't know if you were hoping, Kaitlynn, during that song was for Imogen.
I figured that was gone.
Oh,
I know.
I had no hope in this movie.
Yeah, we barely got scenes with either of them, so this wasn't going to be the film for it. Sorry.
Yeah. Just 2 more episodes of just the side characters, please. I want to know what happens to all of them.
Seriously.
I think
that would have been perfect.
The real issue they struggle with, like, with having such a short movie and not delving into these characters, and this is just a good sign of, like, Alice's quality writing, is, like, we got so invested in the other characters. These characters that didn't have, like, this level of plot in the books. and characters that didn't even exist in the books. Alice
Mm-hmm.
and the cast, of course, like all brought in these characters and made us fall in love with them and made us invested in them. And it's just like to then have a movie where it's like we didn't get to see them anymore. I was just like, but my children.
I know, it just felt like we didn't get to closure with them.
Yeah.
I understand like that this is an open-ended and like movie ending, but like I feel like I wanted to like a bit more closure with them for all the reasons you're saying, because like they were so fleshed out as characters, and I just wanted to know when we got into the movie what's going on with them, but it was so brief and just like Tara is the one that pissed me off the most. I was like, she clearly has something going on here, and you're not going to tell me what it is. And I'm just like, I'm left unread forever now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it is just a practicality thing of like you only have so much time, but like
Yeah.
you can't make me fall in love with the character and then not let me spend. I think it also just like it felt like such a weird contrast to the show, because in the show obviously there was a lot more time to like delve into everybody, whereas in the show it was very much like primarily focused on Nick and Charlie, which I mean the show was technically 2 in that this is Nick and Charlie's story, but like
it didn't feel like that though.
It was more like every character had at least an episode that was theirs, or like I don't know, just like an example, like Tao had an entire plot line throughout the entire season 3 about like trying to like discover his love of film and like making films, and Isaac had an entire portion of an episode of him coming out as asexual and all this stuff, and Tori had like this whole arc of just like, what is labels, you know, who is Michael to me? So it's like, and they had multiple episodes to like flesh it out, whereas the movie's very different obviously, but
yeah,
it was very jarring compared to the show, because there just wasn't time.
Yeah.
And the balance was different.
And so like, I mean, it did make me wonder, because, you know, Volume 6 felt a lot like the movie. Because it's Nick and Charlie centric, which makes sense. And the other characters are very much on the periphery. So it made me wonder, like, if if Heartstopper was just movies, like movie adaptations of like Volume 1 through 6, like it would be very different than the series, because in the series, to you know your point, there was more of an investment in the side characters. They were on the periphery, but they were brought more into the Nick and Charlie story as really close friends would be. So it felt very different. So it was a little jarring to watch the movie and like not have them be there as like much as they were throughout the television show. It did feel it's not bad. It did feel different. You know, and I'm glad we got the TV adaptation and it was done the way that it was done, because then we did get these really incredible characters that we really wouldn't have been able to delve into, because that is where we got the time to do it. So I'm glad we got what we got. I wish we got to say a proper goodbye to them, you know, but
yeah.
I'm glad they were all there.
Yeah, I guess at this point, the one way we cope is we just follow the actors and keep consuming the media that they do, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say fan fiction.
That too.
Fan fiction.
Yeah, I love following the actors after their projects are done and like seeing what they do next. I love doing that. So
yeah. No, they were all really very talented, put a lot of time and effort into this, made us love these characters, especially characters that did not exist in the canon. Like, that's intimidating, you know what I mean? To like be Imogen, like who the hell is Imogen? You know what I mean? Like, she came out of nowhere, and like that character, like I found her very lovable by the end, you know, and that character had a huge transformation where she was unlikable in the beginning, then became likable, and like I'm just glad they all exist. I'm very happy about that. All right. One thing I do want to bring up about the movie that I think was also different, and this is a testament to where Nick and Charlie are at in their kind of like their life and like also their relationship, was that there was a lot more like sex scenes in this movie than there have been in like the entirety of Heartstopper, and they were more intimate type scenes than there have been in the past. And like obviously the volume 6 has a lot, like shows that they have a very healthy sex life with each other and stuff like that, which is great. It was very different to kind of see that. And I didn't think Netflix was going to go there with the movie. And I'm glad they did, because a lot of this movie was about them transitioning into adulthood. And that kind of is like part of that, like going from a like, you were my high school crush to like, we're adults in a relationship kind of thing. So I think visually it made sense. So that was another thing I thought was different about the film compared to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the old couple at the cafe was also a big highlight.
Yeah.
Casting Derek Jacobi, I thought was a great casting choice for this. I remember Jacoby because he was on like for a single episode of Doctor Who like way back in the day. And he was like one of the antagonist characters, and I was like, oh.
I don't even know he's in Doctor Who. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was in one episode, but I was like, hell yeah. But he's did like a bunch of other stuff, of course. But that was his IRL husband that was in the show with him, which I thought was really cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his real husband.
That's cute.
I think his name's Richard. I think is his name, if I remember right. Derek and Richard.
That's adorable.
And just the gentle arguing about the diabetes, I thought was cute. It's like such typical old couple bickering, but it's like actually like, no, you eat this. You should eat it. You're not diabetic. I am. And he's just like, well, I don't want to eat without you. Blah blah blah. It's like, ugh.
It's very much an argument Nick and Charlie are going to have one day.
I know.
That's what it is. It gets me every time, because I'm like, that's literally going to be you, Charlie.
You know.
Also,
yeah,
Charlie
I think that helped Charlie. It helped Charlie be able to see, like, yeah, no, they will always have this dynamic, and like that could be him.
Because again, to your point, like Charlie didn't really see a future before, and like here's like the future manifesting, you know, in real life, like in a very just like I'm living my life, and like here it is. Like he didn't expect to see his future, you know, show up in the cafe. It just kind of did, and like it seemed very magical. And I thought it was really cute that they're like, no, Charlie, take the cake away. And he's watching them, and then he eats it. Charlie with the eating disorder. I also thought, I think that, like, to me, I was like, oh, this must be really big for Charlie, because he's like eating the cake too in public, you know?
Oh my God. Yeah. In public, especially.
Yeah. Like, he's just come such a long way. And I just feel very hopeful for his future, you know?
Yeah, I really appreciate that, like, seeing that, too. He immediately is just like, I need to talk to Nick.
Yes.
Like, we at least need to resolve whatever the hell this is. And then when he throws his phone down, he finds the camera. The question I had was, at what point did the camera get lost under his bed?
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, why does he have it?
Yeah, like, why is it under his bed? And why is it at his house, and why is it under his bed? How did that happen?
Yeah, because like I mean we get the scene where Nick takes the photo of Charlie on the bed, but like that wasn't that the first photo? Like,
well, there's like the blanket fort scene where they do end up having sex at the end.
Oh,
of it.
I just meant like that was early on in the camera reel. So it was like in my brain, I'm like, oh, what if he dropped it there? But like that was like the beginning of the camera reel. Yeah. There's other photos, so like it. Yeah, that didn't really add up.
Yeah, and then at one point, like as he's leaving, he snaps the photo. Like he snaps that photo
like drops
of
it,
Nick, and then he leaves. But I'm like, okay, but then how did the camera? Huh?
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that gets magic.
Sometime between that and then the party when they break up is like,
you know
okay, ended up there sometime.
You know what happened? Off screen, I guess Tara and Nick hang out. She sees the camera. She takes it. And then Tao, Elle, and Isaac do a Mission Impossible when they go to take care of Charlie, and one of them has to like find. They're like, "Where's he gonna find it?" And somebody puts it under the bed.
Oh my God,
that was them. They did it.
All right. Well, now Theora, you have to write that fan fiction now. So
I think it was Isaac because he's the smoothest. Tao would have fucked it up.
Oh my God.
Wait,
my
there's
God.
one more scene. Hold on, there's another scene I thought of a second ago. Oh, yeah. So speaking of, I'm not speaking of anything. I just, during that, it made me think of the scene where they're gonna meet for their anniversary, Nick and Charlie, and Nick's doing not Nick. Nick is stuck at the pet adoption place, and like
shelter,
Charlie's waiting in the park. And Nick has the conversation with his boss.
Yeah.
And that guy, and like it's this awkward, like, tell me about your girlfriend conversation. And the way Nick has to, like, I don't know, it's just one of those scenes where it's just like, it just really, I feel for Nick, where it's one of those things where like he's gonna have to come out his whole life kind of thing, where he's like, no, it's not my girlfriend, it's my boyfriend. And he's like, you don't look gay, I'm bisexual. I just feel like Nick is gonna get real, like, I'm like, get used to this conversation, buddy. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to just like keep doing this over and over again. And like, what I appreciate about this conversation is the dude is like annoying about it in the beginning, but then he's like, well, tell me about him. Like, okay.
Yeah, like he's kind of a bit of an asshole, like low key.
Yes.
Kind of like sort of is like not parallel to, but like almost like perpendicular to like David.
Yes.
And, like,
Oh, that's
David,
a good one.
who was like mocking Nick for saying he was bisexual and being like, no, you're not, you're gay. Come on, man. But Kenneth, I think is his name, the boss.
I think
is
you're
just
right.
like,
Yeah, Kevin. I couldn't think of his name. Thank you.
Yeah, when he says he's bisexual, it's just like, oh, my bad. Like, sorry, I'm not woke. Which is kind of like an asshole thing to say, but
that
like,
is an asshole thing to say. Exactly. But then he's like, all right, so like, what's special
Tell
about
me about
him?
your boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the way it pivoted, where he's like, I don't fucking know anything. Tell me something.
Yeah.
So there's hope for people, I guess. That conversation being.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not an ass. I am kind of an asshole, but I'm not a piece of shit.
Right. I'm not David season 1, season 2, but I'm not perfect.
There you go. Oh, I'm trying to see if I have any other. Oh my god! And then just like everything about this movie was like not going back to like season 1, like just references back to season 1, and like it's made me so nostalgic. So like Charlie gets the photos developed. He's wearing the same shirt that he had when Nick came to his house in season 1.
Oh, I missed that. That's really cute.
They go to the beach, and it's the same beach where they officially announced they were boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I knew that.
And parallel to season 1, they go down to the beach and they hug in front of the water, which is just like they literally found each other all over again. I'm like, God damn it! How dare you?
I know.
And then the freaking photo booth. The photo booth, man.
Yes, that was my favorite one. The photo booth. The thing about the photo booth too is when we get to the very end and they're in Leeds and they're looking at the photo album, and we get the photo booth photo in the album. If you compare the photos, okay, their first photo booth photos to their last quote, their last one, it is the complete inverse of what they were doing. So like in the first one, like Charlie's sitting on Nick's lap, and then in their newer one, it's the other way around. And like all of the positioning is like mirror opposite on every single frame. If you didn't notice that, go back and look at it. It's just the cutest fucking thing ever. Like, I loved it so much. I had to pause and be like, yep, that is exactly what they did. They did like Charlie's kissing Nick in the first one, and then the second one, it's Nick kissing Charlie. It's so cute. That was one of my favorite details. Ugh.
That's cute.
That's so cute.
Especially after they go on the whole journey of like finding their way back to each other, and it's like, look, they are still Nick and Charlie. Like, it's so cute.
That scrapbook was a great way to like flash back to all the memories through the years without it gives just enough nostalgia without using too much time on stuff we already saw, which is always my big gripe on like the finales of TV shows, because they like always flash back to like, oh, all these scenes from the beginning and this, but this one is just like quickly screenshots of all the things that have happened, and you just see them reflecting on it, so it's like new content, and I really liked how they did that.
Yeah, very much so.
I agree. And Clever opening, clever ending. In terms of like the intro in, wrap up out kind of thing. That's a very good point.
Yeah. I think they also, like, before the epilogue, they had like the best proper ending to this, which is like the scene at the Leavers Ball where they're going to like the ballroom.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Speaking of nostalgic,
you always love talking about the lighting in the scene. I was like, I noticed the lighting hardcore in this scene. So this is the same room, obviously, where they had their first kiss in season 1. Season 1, the lighting was like so much dimmer. It was so much like more. I think it was like more like pinkish purplish. Like,
yes, it was
at a party. It felt a little bit not scandalous. It's not the right word.
It's like a secret. It's a
secretive. Secretive. Whereas here they come in and it's like golden, warm, gentle lighting. It's still dim, so it still feels like you're in kind of a private moment. They're having like a very private moment just between the two of them, but it's so much more like bright. And it's, I don't know, I love that. And just like obviously the whole sequence, and this is me being such a nerd, even the way they kiss in this scene is the same as season 1. It's like gentle.
I know, it is.
It's slow.
They
it's
do
like
the pinky touching. Oh, they do all the stuff.
For real.
Oh, so cute. Oh, like, hang a plaque for real there is my thing. I'm like, you know what I mean? Hang a plaque for real. Yeah, that's such a great point. And it just, I do like when they come in there. I think this was in the book where they're just like, this room feels smaller.
Yeah.
I think
like, because they were babies. They were first in there. They were little babies.
Yeah. And of course, the only correct way to enter that room was to chase each other down the hallway.
Yes.
Against season 1, of course. It's the only correct way to do it. Cute. For sure. Wow.
Running is the only way to get to that room. That was very cute. Yeah, I'm glad. I was like, that was one of the things I remember seeing in the trailer for the movie, and I was like, when is that happening? And like, I was so happy when we got to that scene. It was beautiful. It was so cute.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was. I didn't realize it was the Leavers Ball, is what they called it, the Leavers Ball.
Me either.
Yeah. I was like, this is a problem. It's like, actually, it's different. I was like, what? So, this is not something I don't think we really do this in America, but like in the UK, they have Leavers Ball, which is like for graduating students. It's kind of like a prom, but it's like specifically for graduating students.
Which makes sense, like, honestly. It makes way more sense than prom. Prom's some random party because the football team did something.
Yeah.
Leavers makes way more sense. It's like end of the year celebration, you know?
Yeah, it's like, bye guys.
Bye guys. It's our last party. That was really cute. I'm glad they put that in there.
I'll say, I've got 2 more points and then I hit like the end of my notes pretty much. But, so first of all, epilogue. So, a while back, like, earlier on in the story, we hear Charlie talk to Nick about, like, here's the plan. We're going to do this. We're going to go to the gay club. We're going to come home. We're going to have sex. And then you're going to make pancakes the next day. And then in the epilogue, that's what freaking happens, is we see them go to the gay club, all the things. And so it's just like, oh my god, so his plan's coming to life. That's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
And I love that the photo album, obviously, like, they open it and they're like, still more room for memories, which I love. It's like, obviously, it kind of ties back to the whole nothing is like tied up yet, because it's like they're still humans. They're going to keep existing after this. And then we get to the fucking credits.
Oh my god, the animations of the graphic that I got emotional. I was like, oh my god. Alice, like, how dare you put that at the end?
Yeah, and then when they had like all the characters credits, like the actors, it was like a picture of their character for most of them.
Oh my god, I know. I know. It got awkward though, because I'm like, what are you gonna do for the actor that plays Imogen? Like, you're not in this. But that was cute. That was so cute. Oh my god, I stayed for the whole credits because I was like, oh my god, the feels here.
Yeah. And they put in a lot of like the Leavers Ball scenes, so you could be like, oh my god, it's literally just a 1-to-1 ratio. Damn.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was real close. Yeah. Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah, they did that. They did a thing to me that was like, so this happened with How to Train Your Dragon when the 3rd movie came out. and I don't know if you guys have seen the third movie, but like rips your heart out
No.
at the end. Your heart gets ripped out at the end. And then at the credits, they play a clip from the first movie, and I was like, okay,
Why?
that was rude. That was very rude.
That is rude. Bastards.
This
That
is
is
exactly
mean.
the same thing. It's like, this is just mean. Okay, this is just mean.
Ugh. I know that was quite a trip down memory lane though, with some of the comic excerpts or Alice chose. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
That was a great way to end it. I am a little sad though in the epilogue we didn't get the teachers, because
I
definitely-
know.
I was like, where's the wedding invite? Where's all that stuff?
Yeah.
They didn't even give them anything. I was sad about that.
We didn't even get the scene where Yusuf accidentally says "I love you" to Nathan. I'm like, oh, we were robbed.
I know.
Robbed.
I know. I thought it'd be in the epilogue, but I was disappointed.
There was a fan comic that somebody submitted that Alice basically said this is canon, where Yusuf takes in a black kitten, and I was like, so where's the cat?
Yeah, that does make sense. That is canon. He would.
Where are the cats in this story? Come on, man. We see only dogs.
That's true. There is dog propaganda, mostly coming from Nick.
Yeah. We're speaking of dogs, obviously. Rest in peace, Echo. We love you.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Yeah.
What do
the
you
dog-
mean?
Oh yeah, I
Did you
didn't know
not
if
hear?
Kaitlynn knew this.
Kayla, did you not hear about Echo?
Yeah, Echo
No.
passed away.
Passed away
Sorry,
like a
Kaitlynn.
month ago.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
I know. I was like, when I was starting to watch the movie, I'm like, I don't know if Echo's actually in this movie. But Echo was in the credits.
Yeah.
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 R.I.P.
I think they
Echo.
finished filming like long before he started having health problems.
Yeah. Poor baby.
I think it was sudden too, if I remember right. I don't remember all the details, but yeah, it was sad.
Neither.
Poor baby.
Poor baby. I feel that.
Yeah. Echo did a fantastic. I mean, that was like a perfect dog for the
I
role,
know.
for
It was the
sure.
perfect dog to play Nellie, really.
Yeah.
Echo killed it as Nellie.
Yeah.
Nellie
What a good
Nelson.
what a good baby.
All
Yeah.
right. You guys have anything else? I have a question to close us out, but
Okay.
I don't know if you have anything else on your notes. Do you have anything, Kaitlynn?
No.
All right. Okay. So we've gone through the whole movie. We've mentioned that, it would have been nicer if it was longer, if it was a series, this and that. Meaning there's still a story to be told that could have been told. So if you could add one scene of your choice to the movie, that like something that didn't make it in that you'd like to add, what would you add to Heartstopper Forever?
Darcy and their grandmother.
Yeah, I was also surprised Darcy's grandmother wasn't in
grandmother.
it. I want Darcy's grandmother to go with them when they do their like gap year. I think she would be so fun to travel with.
Oh man. I would say like probably a scene where we see like the entire group that isn't like at a party or like a club. I kind of like obviously
that's
like
a good one.
in each of the seasons we see like the entire group. Like season 2 we see them on the school trip, season 3 we see them at the zoo. I would have loved to see a scene where they all just like go out and do something together as like a whole group. Just because they're all friends. I guess they kind of did that at the cafe, technically.
Coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
I want
don't
that scene, but in the epilogue. Like, I would like to go even
That.
further into the future and have like a reunion of like the Paris squad.
Yes. That
Because-
for sure.
There's a lot of dialogue in here of like, no, we'll still be friends, like this and that, but like people do lose touch and like things change. And so because we're leaving this in a they're gonna go about their lives open-ended kind of way, I would like to have some kind of like little glimpse into what that looks like for the Paris squad in the future. Whether it's like they have a like, I don't know, like a what is it, a Zoom call or whatever, where they're all on it.
Yeah.
Like, if we don't want to go that far into the future, just something to show that they did make good on that promise, like collectively. And they're just like teasing each other to show you that their like dynamic never really changed, kind of thing. Like, I would have loved that in the epilogue.
Oh man, you know what would have been really fitting is like especially for Tara and Darcy doing their interrailing journey, Instagram, just like checking each other's Instagrams and like looking at like things that they've uploaded lately and just being like checking in on everybody, seeing what they've been up to. Like that would have been so fitting for this group of characters.
Also, wait, why was there a lack of Instagram? Instagram's the only way we communicate in Heartstopper. What happened? They were texting, not using Instagram?
That's true.
What happened? Bring back the Instagram thing. I agree. That would be a good one.
Joe and Kit got on as executive producers, and they're just like, no more Instagram.
No more Instagram. Stop cutting those meta checks. The Instagram propaganda fell apart in the last movie. That's really funny, yeah. Oh my god. All right. Well, thank you everybody if you made it this far. That was Heartstopper Forever, a series and books and a universe that will, at least for me, always live in my heart because it was so special, and I personally would revisit it anytime. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I feel like we're in agreement when it comes to that. Yeah.
I feel like I need to go back and rewatch the whole series, like again, like just for a comfort watch.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, and really like appreciate every moment, because like this show is probably one of the best. Like the show specifically is one of the most well done like queer television shows ever. The movie also, same. The movie is very well done. There was clearly a lot of love that went into this, attention to detail. I love that you had Alice involved the entire time. It really did give continuity from like TV series to movie to graphic novel to novella, etc. And it just always had that Heartstopper feel to it. And I appreciate that so much about this media. It was honestly perfect the way it was done. And so thank you to everybody that's worked on it, put it together. Thank you to everybody who fan humans over this. It's well deserved. We hope you enjoyed these recaps we did. You can always revisit us revisiting Heartstopper through the podcast. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the film and everything else. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.